So I did mention Whale Nation, the wonderful piece that Roy Hutchins performed in Edinburgh in the 80s, and Roy also put together the performers for Poetry Army, which is a wonderful thing if you've never seen it, one of Heathcote's pieces of work, and Roy performed that and put it all together. And he's with us tonight with Steve North on guitar, Roy Hutchins.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hey, good. So Robin asked me if I would say a few words, and I was running through things in my mind, you know, what to say, and I ran with a few things, but it started sounding like a wake. I thought we can't have that. So then I thought, what were the ground rules? When Heathcote and I first started working together, what was the one rule? And the one rule was that it should be fun. And as soon as it stopped being fun, stop doing it. So I thought what I'll do is share some of that fun with you. And I'm going to do 3 short Heathcote poems, set to music. The music you will recognise, the verse you may not. And Steve North here has stepped in at the very last minute to do this, so take it away, Steve.
Baby's back, dressed in black, silver buttons on her back, high low, tipsy toe. She broke a needle and she couldn't go walking the dog. What? I'm walking the dog. Arr! You don't know how to do it, we'll show you how to walk the dog.
Okay, this is a true story. 2,000 pranksters walked their invisible dogs through Brooklyn en masse. Well, they walked down the street with a stiff lead and collar, but with nothing inside. They made dog noises. hoping people would respond. Some did, dogs didn't. It was unsettling to passers-by, confused by this unsettling display. People in charge of nothing. People led around New York by nothing. Well, the world began when something felt wrong with nothing. Nothing's gone right since. But such invisible dogs can set us an example. No carbon paw print. They can levitate. Their diets undemanding. Effortless Buddhists. You may not be able to see them, but they're not just for Christmas. These dogs are for life. Well, there were invisible Alsatians and invisible Dalmatians and invisible poodles and labradoodles too, and they had names you would expect, like Spot and Rex and Rover and Patch, and maybe you were there. What else were these invisible dogs called?
Bella!
Bella! There was Bella the dog.
Doris.
What was that?
Doris.
Doris! What kind of dog was Doris?
A poodle.
A poodle?
Yeah, Royale.
A poodle royale. Now these invisible dogs led their owners right up to the walls of Wall Street, where they cupped their invisible legs over the $10,000 suits of the Wall Street traders, who's got us into a fair old mess. Now the NYPD were not particularly happy about this, and these dogs were impounded for a whole year. That's 7 years in our time. Yeah. But through the good work of people like yourself, people who can spot an injustice when it's done to a spot. There was activism, there were petitions, there was movement and growth, and I'm very pleased to say that those dogs are with us this evening. We're pleased to give it up for the invisible dogs for Doris. There she goes! Woof, 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 woof.
We'll show you how to walk the dog.
Mr. Steve North is our response to the Surveillance Data Act currently working its way through Parliament, also known as the snoopers'charter. Steve.
Every breath you take,
Every breath you take,
every move you make,
every move you make,
every vow you break, every step you take, we'll be watching you.
Walking through London, you'll be caught on camera some 300 times. Big Brother's robots will follow your every move. Star on state TV. Do you know yourself? Other people think they know all about you, solely by sticking their electronic noses into your business. Banks of cameras are logging your every move. Here, follow that one. Invisible sneaks and electronic telltales exchange your data. Secretive software sells your profile to security or market research, mapping your behavior 24/7. Forcing money's rule over the regulated lab rats in their maze. Don't step out of line! Interfere with the traffic! Oh, look suspicious! Uniformed goblins will appear out of nowhere and freeze-frame your life. And yet, you can subvert all this high-tech surveillance with a low-tech mask. Real terrorists, in any case, hide behind banks and governments. And celebrity, come to that. Think of any celebrity, the first celebrity that comes to your mind, and they'll probably be a terrorist. Anyone? Tanya West we have there. Tanya West. Who's that? George Clooney, of course. What was that at the back? Katie Price, oh yeah.
Richard Curtis.
Richard Curtis, they all speak in code, these celebrities. They trigger worldwide events. Clint Eastwood. While I was working on a Heathcote piece about Alan Turing, I got a phone call from GCHQ. How they found my number, I do not know. And one of the senior executives there said, the director of GCHQ is a great fan of Alan Turing. We hear you're doing this piece. Will you come and perform it for us here at GCHQ? So I emailed Heathcote and I said, I've got a gig here where we could blow your street cred in one gig. What do you think? And Heathcote replied with 2 words, what fun! So there I was at GCHQ in the boardroom waiting to perform to 200 GCHQ staff. Suddenly the door burst open and the director walks in with this assurance that only the bosses have. It's like the building served him, not the other way round. A comfortable confidence. And he said to me, I have flown back from the Middle East today especially for this show. And I said, whereabouts in the Middle East? And he said, classified. It was a bit of a conversation stopper. So I performed the piece, and there were 2 big cameras there, and they were logging my every move. And at the end of it, the director came up and he said, we'd like to make a video of your performance. And we'd like it if there were some images as well to go with it. Can you make any suggestions? And I said, well, there's this fabulous video montage artist called Alan Cox, who works with his sister, I believe, and maybe you could ask him if you could use some of those images, perhaps.
Yes, you can.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, I'm sure they never contacted you because 3 months later, this DVD arrived in the post, and I put it on, and sure enough, there was every single image that Alan used. They just ripped it off, basically. And also they had put together footage from Disney films, from BBC News, from CBS. They'd just gone crazy with it. And as I was watching it, I began to feel a bit hacked off myself, because I thought, you know, they haven't credited Heathcote, and they haven't credited Alan, and they've not credited me. But maybe the credits will come up at the end. So I waited to the end, and then it went to a black screen, and then in big white letters there was classified. Ripped off the whole damn thing.
We'll be watching we'll be watching you.
Thank you very much. Take it away, Steve.
Fame makes a man and takes things over. Fame makes him loose and hard to swallow.
Desperately wanting to be famous, Herostratus ran into the temple at Ephesus, which was then the seventh wonder of the world, and he set it on fire while shouting out his own name. I am Herostratus! Appalled by a criminal trying to manipulate posterity, the city outlawed all mention of Herostratus on pain of death. Yet soon he was better known than those who had built the temple, or even the goddess Artemis to whom the temple had been sacred. Flashbulbs now echo all those destructive flames. Dazzling electronic altars seethe with media-mad moths, each of them spurning the eye of a god for the eye of a camera, and everyone still dying to be a mortal in the same uncaring void. Well, who's ever heard of Herostratus now? The question's met with a shrug or a blank stare. In space, where even Shakespeare and Christ are unknown, the nameless drift unnoticed through stardust and moonshine. I